guys?
It's over there.
I think I saw the crowd thing again. Is that something you've ever seen down here before? Well, here's an interesting thing. You know what I hear for that answer? The something man? I hear the crawling man.
That's weird. I just watched something come through that doorway there. And it was, I don't know, low, really low to the ground.
Oh no.
Not that far one, but that one.
That
right there.
one.
Yeah, it was low to the ground. Where is that a bad, I don't know what's through that door.
That's the upstairs. That goes upstairs, and that's the hallway.
Okay. Yeah, it was like low, like kind of creeping a little bit, like it wagging its body and like, oh my God.
I'm sorry.
That was so loud.
It was so
That
loud.
was him.
It was him.
Yeah.
And it's the creature that's from the basement.
Yeah, and it was just like...
it's making me really scared because
I
up
think
until
that's
this
why
moment,
Billy wanted to come over here, I think.
up until this moment, I never thought it could leave the basement, but now I'm connecting it all with the scratching.
Oh.
I have chills, my heart is racing.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of scared. Billy, it feels like it's behind me, I'm not gonna lie. There's something behind me, and it came out from that room, that bathroom.
Oh, K2.
Oh, we've got lots of K2.
Wow.
Oh shit. Who is here with us right now? It is someone that I don't see.
Oh my God.
Is this Billy maybe?
Billy, is that you?
Are you talking to something right now, Billy? Oh, I wish I could hear this
I
conversation.
know. He feels fierce, like he's
Yes, like he is like, he's going at it with something. And he won.
yeah. You can come and touch that.
Whoa. What is that? Like it's like the attic part is lit up.
Oh yeah, what is? Oh my God, they touched the REM pod.
They're touching the REM pod. Do we have other growlers in here?
That place is like insane. We literally watched something
Crazy.
crawling along the floor towards us, and as it crawling like this,
times.
as it did it,
REM pod going
the
off.
floor was like shaking
floor
and
was shaking.
skittering.
We're having some crawling in the basement.
Okay. Katie, I saw the crawler.
You saw it.
Yeah.
So it's just
And
cruising
Dana saw it.
around.
The
It's just cruising
GRCC
around.
mentioned something with the
About a
crawling man.
The
We saw
crawling
it
man.
on
The crawl.
ceiling.
Something crawling
Something
man.
crawling man.
This is not the first time I've seen the crawling thing. I saw it the very first time we came to the GRCC, and it almost looks like Spawn, except on all fours. Very like shiny and pitch black and almost gooey looking, almost, but muscly too. Gross.
Scary.
Kinda scary. Yeah, you know, what nightmares are made out of.
Trying to do research about crawling spirits, it looks like we're in semi-uncharted territory. So
Well,
We're in other
you've
territory.
encountered crawling spirits at Waverly Hills, and they said that the way to deal with them was to not run from them, but to go towards them.
it.
So being
We just
afraid
stood
of them is
still.
only feeding them if we go back to what
Right, and
This
that's probably
entire-
what they were
Very
saying.
valid.
This entire night is about fear.
Yeah.
It's about fear-based.
Well, here's the thing. Why would something be crawling around on the ceiling? Because it's super unnatural.
Right.
And some of the most unnatural things that happen are being done to scare us.
Right.
Yep. Mhm.
So far at the GRCC, I would describe my feeling tonight as one of dread. I saw something that I can only describe as a ring-like crawling man behind our producer. Furthering that thread, we caught an EVP that also introduced itself as the crawling man. So I'm not really sure what's happening here, but I do know that we are going to switch up the teams and send the magic users down to the basement now.
Yeah, I really am not a fan of the crawling.
Oh, it's terrible.
What was?
What was that? Dear God, what is dripping? It's terrifying. Also, these chairs in here, they must have set these up. Ugh. Ugh. Ooh.
So
If I
much
sit here,
spiders.
I do not want to sit with my back to that.
No, I wouldn't want to do that either. This feels like a lair, though.
It is definitely a lair. A terrible, terrible lair.
So we're coming in, we kind of switched up with the girls. It's me, Ash, Greg, Ty, and our camera lady, Erin. And we're just gonna take turns now and we're gonna talk to you.
We got Billy here too. You remember Billy?
Should we put him back in the center?
Sure.
The fun thing about taking haunted objects to new places is they can help us reveal more about these places. We have an African idol that we originally called it the Idol of Nightmares. But eventually, the more we worked with it, the more we were like, well, wait a second. It's almost like this thing doesn't want to be scary. It can be whatever we want to put on it. We started calling him Billy because it's a much friendlier name than the Idol of Nightmares. And we kept working and we kept giving positive energy to this artifact. So sometimes we'll actually capture conversations between Billy and some of the other spirits.
What about sideways against it?
Oh, did you see that? There we go.
Oh shit, that worked.
Billy's beeping.
Billy is beeping. What's going on, Billy?
Billy, if that was you, could you please light that up again so we know that that was you and not somebody else?
Billy, is it because we were in that hallway?
We should quietly walk back out there. Upstairs.
Yep, I heard it by the apartment. I'm really curious if it had to do with us being down there. If he's being so protective. Wow.
Holy shit.
That's the most intense.
And it stopped.
Okay.
There are 4 of us sitting in the circle. How many of you are there?
Oh my God, you guys.
3.
3?
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you guys know about the crawling things?
That was above us.
Are there any of the crawling things in here with us?
This is a really like hoppin' building.
Yeah. They basically, like, if you were an ornery old man and you were just like, I don't want to be around anybody, you'd
This
be
is
like,
where you'd be.
Yeah, this is like prime old man spot. Do you like Ash?
Do you remember her from a couple years ago? You scared her in the doorway.
What is dripping?
I hate the dripping.
It's off.
It's awful. The dripping is like nightmare status for me.
We're literally sitting in a like dusty basement with water dripping. This is a murderer's basement.
This is a murderer's basement.
We're experiencing what it would be like to be held captive by
We
a
are.
murderer.
We actually both kind of felt like no one was home. We were sort of like wandering around from area to area, and really, I think we described it as being like in a lair where no one was in there.
Like whatever inhabits that area is so like filthy almost that it like the energy just stays on the walls or something.
Interesting thing is the crawling thing also lives in here.
Oh yeah, and the other, yes.
Yeah, but it's not here right now.
Maybe he's upstairs.
'Cause
just,
it's
like,
upstairs.
Loving the altar and like all that energy.
I think it loves Billy, is kind of how I
makes
feel about it.
Absolute sense.
Billy, we know that you've spent a lot of time in this gym. Can you tell us, are we alone in here?
If we're not alone, can you tell us how many people are around us? Billy, are you keeping them all away from the center of the gym? Let's play that back.
We know that you spend a lot of time in this gym. Can you tell us, are we alone in here? If we're not alone, can you tell us how many people are around us? Do you see that we're
Okay, I think I know what I heard, but I'm going to play that again.
every time we come in this gym? Can you tell us, are we alone in here? If we're not alone, can you tell us how many people are around us? Do you see
I know what I heard.
I didn't.
It's not a number, I can tell you that.
No.
I can't hear it. I know he's saying something.
They're not people.
Is that what you heard? Which made sense to me because, I mean, I'm sure there's people spirits here, but we were seeing green lights and just weird stuff, so it would make sense to me that there are other entities here.
Let's listen to this last one, and then we'll, whatever we need to do.
All right, Billy. Does whatever here need you to speak for them? Are they like you? Do they just need to be understood, or should we be afraid of them?
What the?
What was that?
Billy answered.
Yeah, that was a...
Billy, are these things being brought here, or are they coming by themselves?
Brought.
Brought, for sure.
Who bringing them in?
The magician is bringing them in.
Y'all gotta stop, please.
Billy, I know we don't know each other very well, but could you please tell me if there is some kind of opening to a different dimension here? Does that make sense? And if so, should we close it? Billy, here's the close.
That's a lot of something.
Was that?
I heard can't be closed.
Yeah, I heard can't close it.
Yeah, that's what I heard
listen,
too.
listen to this.
Follow me to a different dimension here? Does that make sense? And if so, should we close it?
Ew.
Can't close
Yeah,
it.
and you know, honestly, that makes sense to me because I just don't, I think something like that is out of our...
It's out of our
I don't know that any human could close it.
No, absolutely, I don't believe
Can
so.
let me tell you something that Dana and I noticed when we drove into town earlier. Immediately, it felt like there was something strange and that it was coming from the environment more than anything else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it could be some kind of environmental based thing, which, I mean, I don't know how you would close that.
Well, this was eventful, but we still have way more to do tonight.
Yeah.
So we're most of the way through the night right now, and we are going to try something that we've never tried before on Haunt Me or at the GRCC. The Newkirks have been kind enough to bring their entire traveling museum of the paranormal and occult. All the pieces are here, and now it's time for us to go link up with whatever piece is calling to us.
My object has chosen me.
Already?
It has chosen me, and I'm really surprised by what object I'm about to pick, to be honest with you. But I'm just gonna pick it. And I don't think a lot of people are gonna enjoy that I am choosing this.
As I was walking in, my eyes were fixated on the Bible. And so I just chose it.
That's what we call the corrupted testament.
Yeah.
And the reason we call it that is because it was used as a deliverance minister's Bible. The family who owned it, it belonged to like their great grandfather. And he tried to perform deliverance on one of their family members and it didn't take, and then he died shortly thereafter. And they thought that it was corrupted afterwards and never used it again.
Gotcha.
Holy shit, what are we doing?
I was so into the Crone.
Right.
I'm not really afraid. I kind of just wanted to see if something would happen. I feel like it's an intense object. I just wanted to be by Billy's side all night though. So I can't tell if I'm really drawn to Billy. Like I don't want to be without Billy. I chose Billy unexpectedly. I just started to feel throughout the night closer and closer to Billy. I don't know. I think he's misunderstood.
Who's that?
What you doing?
I know. I said that I wouldn't though, is the problem.
Here's the thing. I trust you.
I feel such a pull towards it.
Yeah.
All afternoon, the sword, you know, I've just been wanting to hold it. It's so cool. I want to walk around with it. It feels powerful.
but so much to the point that I think that that type of attachment can kind of be dangerous.
That was given to us by a dude from Tennessee who believed that his son was messing with Satanism. So he got rid of all of this kid's ritual stuff, which was probably just stuff he printed off of the internet, you know, kid stuff. And he had this sword. The first time we had it out was at the Stanley Hotel. And this really sweet young girl, she started to hold the sword like this and walked around this
Pointing
full
it at
room.
people, waving it at
people.
people. And it was similar, you know, like it happened because she felt drawn to it. She felt the pull.
And she was muttering that she physically could not let it go until she spilled blood with it. Dana had to take her outside, pry her hands off of the hilt.
So tonight I'm gonna learn more about this for you, and that will not happen.
That's perfect.
Can I don't know anything about the Bigfoot, but I have the Bigfoot necklace. Did they go together at all?
Well,
they can.
The Bigfoot's not really haunted.
Tonight kind of like rattled me a little bit. There was a lot going on. So it was just all these unknown variables. It felt a little unsafe. So I was going to go with sort of an object that didn't freak me out at all.
See, yeah, I think that I'm trying to wuss out here.
Don't wuss out.
Don't wuss out.
Here.
Look at
Do you know what? If yeah.
No.
Actually, look at us and where we're at right now. I know. Just pick an object.
Turn around and look at your team members right now.
We've already lost it.
Fine. You all
So the mirror is an interesting item because people have such profound kind of experiences with it. And we've traveled all across the country, and thousands of people at this point have looked in the mirror, and on average about 80% of them will have some kind of experience. Sometimes it ranges from their eyes turning black or their face aging all the way up to turning into an animal. Some people will see themselves turn into their parents. I mean, it's a really personal experience for every single person who sits with it for any length of time.
You know what we're gonna do.
What are we gonna do?
I'm going with the drum because I'm obsessed with it. It comes from a long line of a family of voodoo practitioners from Detroit. The original one was destroyed because it began summoning Loa that the family did not want to be interacting with whatsoever. It was eventually donated to the museum from a friend of ours, John Tenney. So when it was given to us, it was given with one instruction, which was never play it, ever, ever.
Cool.
So in the spirit of the evening, the spirit of learning more about things that we don't know much about, in the spirit of facing our fears, I think I'm going to take the Crone tonight.
Cheers.
I think the object in the museum that is the most dangerous is probably the Crone. I say that because it's the one that I think we understand the least and is probably capable of surprising us the most. The Crone was discovered in a cave in the Catskill Mountains by a couple of hikers who'd clearly never seen a horror movie before because they decided to take it home with them. And almost immediately they realized that the statue was never quite where they left it. They started to smell the smell of like pond water, murky water. They started to see wet, bare footprints manifest in their place. And eventually they saw a full-body apparition of a woman, an old woman, really frail, stark naked, and dripping wet. And that was when they decided we can't have this anymore. It's really the only one that's ever gone out of its way to tell us it doesn't like us.
Oh, it's hot. I forgot how hot it is. Jesus.
Hello? There's a step down right here.
And there it is.
Did you turn that on?
Katie did earlier, she said.
Okay.
Is this where we're doing it? It's kind of claustrophobic.
It is. All right, Billy. We are going to talk to you and other beings.
I'm gonna put my cards on this book. Cards. Something you need to know about this book. It's freaking haunted.
Yep.
God.
You okay? Deep breath.
You got
This book's with me.
You got golden light all around you.
It is. It really is all around me.
Yeah, you're safe.
The book's just with me. I have such a bad headache. It's in the back of my head, right here. And my leg is on fire. I'm gonna put my cards on you. Cards, get to know this book for a second. And I'm gonna shuffle you. And then you're gonna tell me about this book.
I used the actual Bible itself to kind of spread the tarot cards out, and we pulled nothing but really positive cards like happiness, fortune.
I didn't pick this book because it was the best looking thing. I picked this book because it needed me.
Maybe you can help freeze its past.
Right, maybe I'm your star. I feel like I want to lay down with it on my chest.
Okay. I'm here if you need anything.
All right. So you just want to sit?
Yeah.
Just a nice little circle here. How do you feel about spending the first 5 minutes just sitting silent, eyes closed, holding these things? And
I feel like that thing is back down here now, but it's not, I don't know, it's weird. I don't know what it feels like in this environment, but I do feel a little anxious at the moment.
ignore that thing. She feels like she's humming.
Yeah, I've actually had to put like a little energy bubble around us because I'm getting like touched, and like I felt it earlier, like something was kind of touching my hair, but like something just grabbed my arm. Like it's totally fine if you want to hang out around us and you know you can come and look, but like you know maybe
you're not okay with
I'm
being
not okay
touched.
with I'm okay with you know if you want to just sort of gently touch me, but what happened on my forearm or like it was definitely not gentle. It was like a full-on aggressive grab. It was meant to get me to knock this out of my hands. That's what it felt like.
To play it.
Mm-hmm.
You want to try seeing if they have anything to say?
Yes.
So any message or contact that you want to do or you need anything, right here. I'll hold you. I'll hold you. Because we're all going to hold our
You're too attached to that thing.
objects. Look at you, you're holding yours.
I like mine a lot.
I like mine.
Mine doesn't have a face.
Well, mine does. I know that he seems like a freaky statue, but I think if you know the backstory and you're open-minded and you spend some time with the Newkirks and you spend some time with Billy, you may find it's a little different than you thought.
Okay, so I learned this from a psychic named Stephanie Burke.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Psychometry, and it's trying to like glean stuff from an object that you should have no knowledge about.
Mm-hmm.
So what we should do is each meditate and focus really hard. What I'm going to do is I'm going to meditate, focus really hard, and then just write down the words that are coming into my head.
All right.
And then just give it to the Newkirks and be like, here. I don't want to let this thing go ever. Like, this is so cool.
I know.
Yeah, it's funny. My eyes are starting to burn.
Oh no.
Yeah. Which hasn't really ever happened. But I don't think I've ever really spent so long holding her.
Yeah.
All right, you ready to play this?
Yes.
We know that there's some things down here with us. We'd really be interested to hear what you think about the items in our hands. We call this one the Crone. We call this one the conjuring drum.
Did it say Loa?
No.
Criminal?
Yeah, listen. It says criminal. Listen.
No.
Listen.
What this drum was used to summon. How you feel
Criminal.
if these objects are in your space. What part of the basement are you in right now?
Catacombs.
Catacombs. Oh my God, it's so clear.
It was weird because every time I've looked in the mirror, I've seen my face turn into animal faces, and just now I saw like an alien face.
Huh. I need to look at it now too.
Yeah, feel free
I haven't
to.
looked at it very much.
You may have to shine this onto your own face if you want to see. But. To be old equals that you're like useless in society, which is a huge fear of a lot of people's. Maybe this is like a collective unconscious mirror too. It's just picking up on like things like that around it. I don't know why I was seeing, maybe I'm not human. Maybe that's what it means. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, come on in.
I can't handle this. Sorry, Erin. I'm not normally so scared. There's just a lot going on tonight.
I mean, you can come on in.
You can. I'm sorry I reacted that way. It's just been a long night.
But your energy's gonna have to change. You're not with us.
Only positive forces may enter here. This is a zone of love and protection.
I hear it out there.
Billy, could you tell anybody that's around, any being, if they are around, if they want to contact us to try to do that? Through lights or sound?
Just watching you.
It's like just being a Templar. I'm just being a Templar over here.
Like, I know you're enjoying yourself because you love that stuff, but I'm just, make sure.
Wonder how the other people are doing. I'm out of words.
What do you have for words?
I just did stream of consciousness, whatever's popping into my head.
Okay.
If you want to look at it.
I love that stuff.
That sword felt great to hold. And so I started writing things like that down on the piece of paper. It was probably the only way that I could present any evidence to the Newkirks about what was going on inside my head when I was touching it, because that's the claims that they had so far with the sword. You touch it and then something happens. So I touched it and then I tried to record those somethings that were happening to me.
A lot of these put together would probably cause rage.
Really?
Think about it. Lust, energy, power, greed. Lust
Yeah, I mean, you're
could
not
drive
wrong.
anybody crazy. Greed, energy, power. I mean, directed in the wrong way, all that could cause rage.
We're the ones bringing the objects in, so we would appreciate it if you didn't touch them, play them.
These are for us.
These are for us, and they're not
for you. We want you to tell us more about these.
It's definitely over here. This is where Katie and I were sitting. So let's sit here real quick, Greg. There was an overwhelming sense that it was a malicious kind of energy, something that didn't feel like it was really happy that we were down there, was really curious about the objects, and was really just kind of giving off this aggressive, kind of malevolent energy. All right, again, just stating, we brought these items in here because we are curious about them. You don't need to interact with them. You don't need to come in contact with them. And everyone who's in this room right now is off limits. So you stay where you are, we'll stay where we are. We're just gonna do a really quick, touch my arm again. We're gonna do a really quick little experiment, and then we will leave, and you will stay here, and you will not come with us.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Okay, you told us you were in the catacombs. That's where we are. You brought us here. What is it about this place that made you want to bring these items in here?
Okay, you told us you were in the catacombs. That's where we are. You brought us here. What is it about this place that made you want to bring these items in here?
What's that? That's really clear.
Okay, you told us you were in the catacombs. That's where we are. You brought us here. What is it about this place that made you want to bring these items in here?
I need them. Need them.
No, you don't need them. Again, you can't interact with these objects at all. You can't touch them. You can't have any kind of control over them.
Criminal fraud that made you want to bring these items in here.
No, it doesn't say need them. It says feed them.
Oh my Lord.
Listen.
It's touching my arm.
Said I'm feeling this whole side of my eye just went like
Literally
black.
touching my whole arm. Like,
Just should probably get out of here, actually.
well, again, you
Don't
stay
follow
here.
us.
You don't come with us. We leave, you don't. I initially kind of responded negatively. I was scared, and I thought a lot of the stuff that we've been experiencing tonight has sort of been very fear-based, so react to it differently. Don't feed into it.
So I have this for you guys. Stream of consciousness while I was holding the sword and meditating.
Oh my God.
So it's gibberish,
fantastic.
nothing, or it's something.
Lust.
Do you need a flashlight? Wait, what?
Adrenaline.
Cleric.
Right there. Right there.
Do you know what we're gonna do in here?
All right, let's do this.
So I did some research about grids and symbolism and magic and how this stuff flows together. But then I really wanted to take that and take the investigators and our items that we've been working with and channel that all into a power towards Billy, who'd been working as a translator for us all night anyway, and try to get some answers. I chose a simple Seal of Solomon, which is basically it breaks down to a right side up triangle and an upside down triangle. The right side up triangle is a symbol of masculine energy, so I wanted Greg at the head of it, myself on the side, and then Carol, who's a brute, on the other side across from me. Flipping that over, you have the female side, and so I wanted Dana across from Greg to balance each other, and then Ashley and Katie made the other sides of those triangles. So you had a perfectly balanced sphere that we were working with, and so again, learning from Katie, that meant the energy could come in and swirl around us and the communication channels could always be open.
I would start off by saying to anything that's already here in the building, in this room, we've really created this circle for you, and we would really like to continue communicating with you.
We've brought these objects, some very powerful objects here, for the sole purpose of connecting with you.
And Billy, you can also let everyone here know that we're just here to communicate. You can bring them in and help us talk with them.
So thank you for that noise.
We think we've learned a few things about you tonight. We think we might have learned that maybe you're not people as we know people. And maybe you're coming from some other place because of something, some kind of a doorway that exists here.
Was that a growl or was that somebody's stomach?
Wasn't mine.
I didn't hear it.
Is anyone else having sensations in their body at all?
Yeah, I feel like I'm rocking back and forth, but I'm not gonna fall.
I actually have the urge to sit down because I feel so heavy, but I'm not gonna like disrupt the energy.
I feel like my knees weigh like 20 pounds each for some reason.
I feel locked to the spot, but I can't stop swaying.
Yeah.
Same.
Should we bust out the recorder?
I'm ready when you are. You've seen us use this several times tonight. Who brought you here? All those little green lights we've been seeing all night, what are those? The doorway here, where does that open to?
What was that?
That clink?
Was that the tap? Did that drum just play itself?
It went doo-doo.
Holy shit.
But it was like an echoey sound.
Yeah.
I felt energy coming up through here, like, and moving through me, and it almost felt like it was going Ty's way.
Who's playing the drum? You ready to listen to this?
Yes.
All those little green lights we've been seeing all night, what are they? The doorway here, where does that open to? Who's playing the drum?
Ashley's candle's going out.
Oh yeah. Oh my
Oh
gosh.
shit. What does that mean?
Something just walked over it. I don't know. What was that?
What? I didn't hear it.
It was like a straight growl.
Is this making you nervous?
What was that? That was the growl again?
No.
It was like the floorboards going. Grrr. What we found more often than not is that sometimes when we come to haunted places like this, when we bring the objects, they really act as a trigger mechanism. And what happens is the activity that's already happening there just blows up and it becomes like 10 times more active.
Billy, it's pretty clear there's a door here. Are there many more doors like this in other places? Billy, can you tell them to stop scratching? How do they feel when you tell them that? Billy, I'd like you to tell them that we're not going to feed them fear. They need to find another food source because fear isn't it anymore. We've come here, we've put in a lot of effort to communicate with you. Can you at least give us a sign that you understand the effort we put into this? You can tell we're a little concerned about the scratches. Will you do us a favor and stop doing that?
You have to stop.
Billy, before we say goodnight, is there anything that we should know about this building and the things that reside in it before we leave?
Good night, Billy.
Can you say goodnight to everyone, Billy? Let's listen to this.
Yes.
Billy, it's pretty clear there's a door here. Are there many more doors like this in other places? Are you hearing that?
That was definitely a yes.
Billy, can you tell them to stop scratching? How do they feel when you tell them that? Billy, I'd like you to tell them.
Is he answering those two?
Yeah.
They need to find another food source because fear isn't it anymore. We've come here, we've put in a lot of effort to communicate with you. Can you at least give us a sign that you understand the effort we put into this? How did you feel about it?
Yeah, I'd say that was a pretty good one.
You can tell we're a little concerned about the scratches. Will you do us a favor and stop doing that? Really, before we say goodnight, is there anything we should know about this building and the things that reside in it before we leave? Can you say goodnight to everyone, Billy?
Good night.
Oh, thank you, Billy. Wow.
One of the things that we noticed a lot throughout the investigation all day was a lot of the responses were very whispery, and I think it was because they were afraid to get too close. And I can't tell if that was because of some of the artifacts, or if at the end of the night it was because we had built this pretty kick-ass circle that was really strong. There was a lot of energy there, and they probably just couldn't cross through.
You know, it seems like the recurring theme tonight has been there aren't always answers.
Yeah.
And sometimes maybe we'll never get them. You know, we went off with 2 objects that we don't have a lot of answers for, and only walked away with more questions about them. We spent time in the gym, you know, asking all these questions about what we thought might be here, and the things that I expected to hear, I didn't hear. Instead, it was, you know, things about not being able to close these doors and not being able to understand these things.
I think that we have some answers. There were definitely some things that Billy told us that were useful. For instance, the fact that there is this portal that has things that are other than people in it. I mean, I have some questions about that, don't get me wrong, but that at least is some information. The GRCC definitely still remains a puzzle and will probably remain as such.
So it's time to rate the GRCC after an incredible night of activity. We got object manipulation, we saw shadow figures, we saw crawling things, we heard incredible EVPs, people had personal experiences, so we are going to lift this rating up tonight. We feel comfortable rating tonight's activity at a 9, averaging that with the 7.5 that we got the last time we were here. The final rating for the GRCC's second visit is an 8.25, a bellicose level haunt, knowing fully that all the mysteries within the GRCC have not even been unlocked yet.